Bliss, Bliss. I don't think you fit in that bed. That bed looks just a little bit too small for you. But you're just determined to make it work? Since for some reason you're in the hallway in one of the puppies' beds? If you're comfy, I guess that's fine. Do you want to go upstairs with Jack? You want to go with Jack upstairs? You don't look excited, like you don't want to leave the bed. You want to just stay where you are? Alright, Bliss, that's fine with me. Good afternoon, guys, and happy Monday to all of your sunshiny faces. I'm so hot, guys, and insanely uncomfortable. Like, seriously, I didn't think that, again, November. Oh, yeah, it's November, guys, in my calendar. I still haven't changed it. It's actually in my frame of view while I was saying November. Then I was like, wait, that still says October. Also, there's a dog that I showed you guys. I just hit her in the head. I'm so sorry with my water bottle. I'm sorry. She doesn't want to leave the hallway. I'm so sorry. I didn't see your head there. You guys hear her tail beating against the ground right now. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. It's so hot, guys. It's November. It's not supposed to be 70 degrees out. Like 75 for multiple days in a row. Like, this thing was in a t-shirt today and leggings, you guys saw. And I'm still hot. It is still hot out. We set a record for, I think, the most, like, straight days of it being 70 degrees or like more, been, you know, in the 70s for a couple days now, and like this is the most like straight days I think that we've ever had in like November or something like that, because again it's been like maybe 4 days, 3 days, 4 days or something like that. I know it was at least since like Saturday, like when we went to the grocery stores, and I'm thinking it was Friday too, right, that it was like close to that, or at least got up into the 70s. So it's crazy that again it is this hot, and so I've been insanely uncomfortable. Like, you know, it almost reminds me of when the power went out and like we didn't have the air conditioners on and it was just hot and sticky, and like it's humid out too. That's the other thing that like really stinks, is that it feels like kind of humid out. So we're like dealing with again this kind of weird funky weather right now, and so yeah, and it's like I had my window open in my room, and it's actually just open like maybe about that much or so. It's not like fully opened, but I mean still I would have expected it to have gotten like cold in the middle of the night, and then like my room been kind of cold and then got warm, you know. But tomorrow I think it's finally supposed to cool down. Maybe it's tomorrow or Wednesday. We're supposed to get thunderstorms. I think it's Tuesday maybe, or like late Tuesday maybe, I don't know, or maybe tonight. And then I think by Wednesday it's finally supposed to be cool, but I think tomorrow we're supposed to get thunderstorms, so it's supposed to like a cold front then moves through, and then hopefully we'll go back to being normal, I told you guys. But yeah, in yesterday's vlog that I think after that it's supposed to be like, you know, 50s and 40s and 50s, which is normal, you know, kind of. Still, I mean, like we've gotten snow in, you know, November and stuff like that, but like I'm honestly uncomfortable because like I was saying, it reminds me of when the power went out over the summer, because it's like that, like still it feels humid, sort of like muggy, but it's like hot. And like again, we don't have any, I told you guys we literally just got the coil for the air conditioner replaced, but like we're not going to turn on the air conditioning because it's stinking November. And we put all of our window air conditioning units away and we're done with them. We don't need them anymore because we just got our new central air fixed. So the whole, like I said, the whole point is that we are still waiting though. We're not going to get the new outside unit taken care of until spring, but we you can't even turn the air conditioning on. And so it's like, this is really, it's just like everything in the whole house is so uncomfortable. And again, it doesn't even really get that cold enough to like at night, like it didn't even for it to like really cool down, which again is the other weird thing, is because like yesterday, you know, again, the sun goes down at like 5 o'clock now, but we don't, like, it didn't even cool down for the time that it was dark outside, you know, because obviously there's no sun heating everything up from 5 o'clock until, you know, whenever the sun comes up in the morning, 6 or whatever, 5 to 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, I don't know. But, you know, so I don't get up that early. But like even during that time, like it's, you know, you'd expect that like, oh, it's cold and stuff like that now, or cooler and stuff, but like it didn't get that cold at night either. So I guess that guy stinks. But what I actually wanted to show you guys was I froze those. I got 4 pounds, no, I got 4 bags of 5-pound bags of flour. And I finally got all of it taken care of and put in me, and I have the dryer going. I did get to a lot of laundry today, guys. That was one good thing. So this is gonna be, sorry, a little loud right now, but I got the flour actually all put in our big, I don't even know how many gallon bucket size this is. Try to move out of the laundry room right now so it's a little bit quieter. But I got all of our flour put into this bucket. So I froze it, but I could only fit 2 bags of flour in the freezer at a time, and I froze them for maybe about like 24 or more hours or something like that. I think that's maybe about how long you're supposed to freeze it, just to like to sort of get rid of any of those, like, you know, so there's no insect eggs or anything like that in flour. You're supposed to do that with like, I think most grains and like flour and stuff like that too. So my mom normally freezes it because she doesn't want that stuff in the pantry, and obviously too, since we're saving this like long term, you know, I want it sort of long term, but I thought I'd share with you guys this has in here, it's completely filled. It has got actually the 4 bags of 5-pound flour, plus it also has, we had a partial bag of like a 5-pound bag of flour, plus we had a small 2-pound bag of flour that my mom, I think, got at like the dollar store. That was during like lockdown when my dad couldn't find any at the stores and we were out. And then, like I said, then he ended up getting that big 5-pound bag of Pillsbury flour that was pretty stinking expensive. And then I did find that I had a full bag, I think I bought recently at Valley Produce. Maybe it was also like $1 or something like that, but I only have 1 of those bags. So I think in total this is somewhere over 25 pounds, but under 30 most likely, worth of flour. This is the bucket that we have it in. It is a food grade safe bin. And then I have the Gamma Seal lid on here. And then that, guys, is all the flour that is in here. So we've got a ton of flour that is ready for baking season. And again, I said this will probably last us for several months, but I like to buy it when it's on sale during the holidays, for 99 cents a 5-pound bag of flour. And then again, I don't have to go out and spend $2 or $3, you know, when it's not on sale like we did before. And again, hopefully there's not another pandemic, things don't get crazy again, you know, by like, you know, after the holidays and everything like that. But because of that, that was one of the reasons why my dad had to spend so much money on that Pillsbury flour and all that kind of stuff. And so because they didn't have, well, and the stuff was also on sale, I think, at the time when my dad said he went, but it's heavy, guys. That is how I stored it. I didn't do it in the Mylar bags or anything like that because it most likely will honestly probably go through and use a lot of that. Like, it won't be in there for more than probably, like, again, several months, like maybe about 6 months or so, because we've honestly gone through about that much flour. But like I said, this is the best time to buy it, is during like November and December, is when stores have it on sale the cheapest. It makes the most sense to buy it, and then again use it up through to next baking season. So you know, there might be some sales and things like that here and there as well, but that is just more for like you know, not long term. It's just so that we can store it in something that's big, and so that we can store it and have it somewhat fresh again, so that we can have it for a while. Because honestly, I think flour doesn't, I don't know where the bags are. The Best By date on the bag looks like it says February of 2022. So, you know, especially given the fact that we're storing it in something that's a little bit more permanent, safer for storage, and stuff like that, instead of just in the pantry where, again, things can get into it and that kind of stuff, or, you know, something can happen to it, it spill in the pantry and all that kind of stuff. It's in something that's secure, should last plenty of that time. And again, maybe we won't go through all of that in, you know, like all this baking season, but I especially, you know, want to do more breads and stuff like that. And I feel like, honestly, when you make bread from scratch, you use a lot of flour. So, you know, I haven't recently, only because I was actually out of yeast. That was the whole reason I haven't been making bread. I just got some, no, maybe actually I didn't, because Aldi, I couldn't find yeast at Aldi the last time I went. I forgot to put it on my list for this week. But that's one of the things. Like, obviously it's soup season right now, and what goes better with soup than bread? I have that lovely Cuisinart bread machine that I really like, and it's simple and easy and everything like that. It just, again, it requires a lot of flour, so that's a good thing to have when you have kind of, again, a little bit of a flour problem, and you can use up some of that stuff. So you know, it was all the same type of flour. It wasn't like I was mixing all different kinds. I just put everything in there, but it's not, like I said, like a long-term storage solution. It's just so that we can store it in there, so that when we buy in bulk, we have enough room to store it. And again, it's out of the pantry, so actually there's a little bit more room in our pantry right now because of it, and it doesn't look like it, but sorry guys, my battery died. But like I was saying, it's just so that we can keep it out of the pantry. We can keep it in something that, again, keeps for a longer time, you know, so that nothing will get into it, nothing will get on it, nothing will knock it over, and we don't knock it over and spill it, because flour is messy. And when you're, like, honestly, what we just do is we normally wind up storing it in like a plastic bag, like a freezer bag, like a 5-pound bag, once we open it up, just because, again, we've had the problem of it spilling over. And I know that you can get like little containers. We had one that I think I was telling you guys I really liked, but it got broken. The lid, I think something happened to it, but it was like the perfect size for a 5-pound bag of flour. And you know, we could actually keep it in the pantry. I wouldn't mind having one of those, so that we can kind of keep it separate from the big one that we also have, but so that, again, we can buy in bulk and store it. That's kind of just the purpose for doing it, because, again, I like when stuff is cheap. I don't want to have to, again, spend more money on things when it's out of season, whereas right now it's in season. It's 99 cents to get, you know, those 5-pound bags of flour. I definitely want to get them in stock up. Hoping there's none on sale next week at the grocery stores, because I'll be tempted to buy it, but clearly I have no more room for flour. Even that bucket's full. So that is, again, our sort of storage solution. And again, we don't have to buy stuff when it's not on sale. We don't have to worry about running out of something too. That's always my other thing, is like, okay, if I see that we're getting low on something, then I won't set my standards of it being like, okay, well, it has to be 99 cents. I can be like, okay, if I see it on sale for $1.50 because I know we're low, I'll go ahead and get it, instead of, again, spending $2 or $3 sometimes on flour, which is sometimes what certain stores charge for flour. So, you know, like I said, I can, you know, if I know we're low on it, then I can be like, okay, we can, you know, spend this or that or whatever on it. But honestly, again, we'll probably use up a lot of it, especially because it's holiday baking time and we make things from scratch and all that kind of stuff. And again, my main reason I really wanted to especially stock up in flour is because we will use a lot of it for breads and stuff like that. And I really want to get into trying more breads. But again, I feel like if I have a bread that's sort of like a flop or something like that, I'm like, I wasted, you know, my ingredients and stuff like that or whatever. But when I have an overflowing pail full of flour in the laundry room and I make it and maybe it doesn't turn out or something like that, I don't feel as bad, like, oh my gosh, like we only had one 5-pound bag of flour and I wasted, you know, like 4 cups worth of it or whatever it is, you know, and for something that didn't turn out or didn't taste good or something like that. You know, it doesn't feel like quite as much of a waste. You know, it's a little bit more like I can experiment with some things and try some other stuff and, you know, see if we actually like it or if we don't or whatever. So again, I don't feel as bad knowing that we have a surplus of it. You know, we can do a little bit more of, you know, like I said, experimenting, trying other things. you know, trying making cookies from scratch, and doing, you know, like I would love to honestly not buy any like cookie dough from like the stores. I'd love to this year make all of our cookies, our Christmas cookies from scratch. Like that would be really awesome. And clearly again, we have at least the flour worth of ingredients for it. Want to start keeping an eye out for sugar, and then we can actually get pails, you know, another pail and do it full of sugar as well. Just because again, those are like two big staple items that like you definitely want to keep in your pantry sort of thing. We have a lot of baking powder and baking soda. Actually, we have way more baking soda than we probably will ever possibly use, it seems like, but I use that for cleaning a ton. So I use that plus my like vinegar spray. It's a lifesaver, and it's like scrub free cleaner, and it works really well. So I have a little thing underneath the kitchen sink that is like almost in like a sort of like a salt sugar shaker sort of thing, and I just sprinkle it down and then spray my stuff over it, my homemade spray, and then clean with that. So you know, I use that actually a lot of times for cleaning instead, you know, especially for things that are like stuck on. So like I will I don't know what the recipe is. I found it on Pinterest, but I use it a lot of times for cleaning like the stove and or the oven as well. Honestly, compared to like actual like oven cleaner, one, it doesn't smell and there's no harsh chemicals in it, because my mom did it one time and it stunk up the whole house with like this like industrial stuff, and it smelled so bad. Again, it's just I sprinkle the stuff on, I spray it, and I leave it for a little while, and when I go to clean it up, it's like no problem at all. So like I said, I use, that's what I use that stuff for, but I also use it for baking too. So again, and we got a ton of oats too that I want to get another storage container for, but the thing was they were out of the lids at Menards, so I'm gonna wait for them to hopefully get them back in stock again. I'll probably get another one just because I want one for the oats, because right now those are in the pantry. I don't want anything getting into or on them or anything like that as well. I think those should be okay. Like I didn't freeze them ahead of time, but I think for the most part they should be okay, because they're like I think pre-cooked sort of oats and stuff like that, like they're quick oats and everything like that, so compared to flour. But I don't know, I wonder if that is a thing, if like you should also freeze like your oats too. And I don't know if it has to be like raw oats more than like, you know, like the stuff that you kind of just make oatmeal with anyway. But again, that's another big thing that we got on sale actually earlier. That was during the back to school sales, because during back to school sales most people are buying stuff for breakfast and all that kind of stuff before school. So that's when that stuff goes on sale, so we bought up a lot of that during that time. You know, again, that was maybe about a month or two ago, and they had some really good sales at a couple of the grocery stores. Jewel had some, Valley Produce, over like a couple of weeks period, but we have maybe about like 6 canisters or so of that, and so I want to get a container, another bucket to store that stuff in as well. That is though, like I said, all the flour we have, like I said, maybe a little under 30 pounds worth of flour all stored in there. But again, I think for what I paid for it was actually a really good price, because I know that I think Caputo's had like big like sacks of flour that were maybe like 30 or so, 40 pounds, something like that worth of flour, and they were like $20 each. And again, I got all that for probably, again, maybe around $5-6 in total or something like that, you know. So to me that seems like a really good deal, and like I said, when you can buy it that cheap, you know, stock up so that we're not going to need it when it's not on sale. So anyways guys, I need to get in the shower and get to bed, hopefully take a nice cool shower, because again, it's hot guys. Why is it November whatever today is, the 9th? Why is it hot outside? Not that I'm complaining, I like this kind of weather, but I'd like it more if like, again, there was like a breeze, or like it was cooler right now while it's, you know, like almost midnight. It still feels as hot as it was like in the middle of the day today, or if there was actual air conditioning on, I wouldn't mind. But yeah, we don't have an option for that. So like I said, I think today's the last day of it actually being hot. And I know I've said this like multiple times now. I'm like, oh, it should be the last time that we have hot weather and stuff like that. Hopefully this is it. Watch, like it's gonna be something crazy like Christmas. It's gonna be 75 degrees or something like that. We're gonna be like, Christmas is ruined because there's no snow and it's like, again, 75 degrees or something like that. But I know what it's gonna be. By this time next Wednesday, there'll be snow on the ground, guys. Mark my words. I can probably, that is how crazy things wind up changing and that quickly. Anyways, I'll see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see y'all for some shiny faces tomorrow. So bye, guys.